step.
Okay.
Put your foot on the clutch, hold this red button, and mat the gas.
I've driven a lot of Toyota Supras, but nothing like this. This is the Cactus Jack Supra. This Supra was on the album cover for Travis Scott, but at the same time has over 250,000 miles on it. This is not a pristine Supra to be a collector item, and it's actually one of my favorite parts about it. The other weird thing about it, it has a 1JZ and not a 2JZ. So what's it like driving such a high mile Supra? Let's talk about it. Before we get started with today's video, I want to give a huge thanks to today's sponsor, Upstart. If you dread looking at your credit card statements, you're not alone. The weight of debt can be incredibly crippling, but with Upstart, they can help you on your path to financial freedom. Upstart is a fast and easy way to pay off all your debt with a personal loan, all online. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 1 million people have used Upstart to get one fixed monthly payment with a clear payoff date. And rather than looking at credit score alone, Upstart knows that you're more than just your credit score. It considers other factors like income, current employment, and credit history to find you a smarter rate for your loan. You can check your rate without impacting your credit score in minutes for loans between $1,000 and $50,000. And you can even receive funds as fast as 1 business day after accepting your loan. So find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payments today when you go to upstart.com/blue. That's upstart.com/blue. And use my URL to let them know that I sent you. And go to upstart.com/blue. What's going on, guys? Today we're in the, I guess we could call it the Cactus Jack Supra.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and introduce yourself and where you're from and what the car is all about.
My name's Zach. This is my car. It's the one that's on the
Here we go, right here.
of the the JACKBOYS album.
For Travis Scott.
Yes, sir.
Little backstory on that. You said the shoot was a pretty interesting experience.
Yeah, I mean, basically some little Hollywood shindig, how they all are, and just basically used me as a prop, just like all the other guys. It's kind of what you expect, but like, it was cool. I got paid for it, and it was cool to be part of it, and my card's on the cover, so that's like really cool memorabilia and everything like that.
Yeah, it's funny because when you sent me that first email, you're like, Travis Scott album. I'm like, what? And then I saw it and I was like, oh, no way, it's right there. Let's get down to it. We are in a 256,000 mile Supra, which is so rare, and especially nowadays when they're turning into collectible cars. And not only that, you have a 1J in it, which is super weird, which always raises eyebrows.
Yeah.
People go, huh? Like, why would you do that? But the thing is you bought it like this.
Yes.
And I think that's where I start to understand more. It's like, you didn't make this choice, but you saw the car as a good opportunity just to have a Supra and have a good time with it and be like, you know what? I'll use the 1J, why not? It's already in there.
Yeah.
Your Supra, out of anything that I've experienced or seen, is the ultimate. It's an old car, and I don't care too much about it, but just enough. You know, like,
Exactly.
You still enjoy driving it, you still enjoy showing it off, it sounds good, it has the party trick two-step on it.
Yes.
You know, it has all that, but at the same time, you were just telling me you were at McDonald's the other day, and you curved your way, and you're like, oh well.
Screw it, man.
Yeah, it does what you want.
Exactly.
It does the Supra things. Yeah, it has the presence of a Supra. It's not like, oh, you got robbed, bro. You bought the wrong engine.
No. Entire Redline. It's a JZ. It's an iron block aluminum head. It's just a 2.5 liter instead of a 3 liter.
It was so interesting, you pulling up in a Supra with the worn out clear, with all this. Usually people are like, I having to fix it, and you're like, you just roll up and go, sup, this is my Supra. You know, like, it's the complete opposite of what people typically think of a Supra.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I think your car is the perfect example of what the Supra almost used to be. It used to be this tuner car that people didn't care too much about, especially before the Fast and Furious era. They didn't sell well. They were overly priced. You know, all these check box, but then people kind of figured out how good the platform was, and like, oh yeah, you know, I have a Supra. But and then it turned into, whoa, you have a Supra.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yours is like almost a relic from the time, like right before Fast and Furious. Of, yeah, I got a Toyota sports car. It's kind of neat, you know. You also have the W58 transmission, which is notoriously, quote unquote, the weak one. But you still are making, what, 405 horsepower to the wheels? Is that how much it is?
Yeah, it's 405 on 91 pump. And
but you're on the East, baby.
Yeah,
you got
I'm on the
93
East
now. You got the good stuff.
yeah, might get a couple more beans out of it, but yeah, it's just it's a great cruiser, and it's a Supra. Like, who doesn't like driving a Supra?
No, it still gives you the, I mean, look, let's be fair. We were at the gas station earlier, and no matter what, even with the worn out paint and everything, a guy still lost his mind.
Exactly.
He was like, oh my God, and I'm making 1,000 horsepower. You're like, no, but it's still really fun. It's pretty easy to drive. But other than that, how has your Supra ownership experience been so far?
It's been pretty good. Obviously, it's a old car, old engine, oil leak here, oil leak there. Oh, replace a line. Like, it's nothing crazy, but like I mean, I'm using a whole bunch of aftermarket parts, and just like keeping up with it, making sure it runs okay, and figuring out like electrical gremlins.
Sure.
That's been like one of them.
Yeah, have you had to replace like body harness or anything like that, chassis harness?
Well, I have a pretty extensive wire tuck, so
yeah, I noticed that when you pop the hood, it's pretty tastefully done. It's so funny because you pop the hood and you're like, oh wow, it's like this really nice clean 1JZ, and then you're like, what about that paint though? You look right around it. I'm sorry, I have to talk about this. I thought it was so interesting when it comes to like car culture, but you were telling me, not necessarily just in the West Coast, but you're telling me that sometimes you like go to a car meet in the Supra and be like, yeah bro, that's my friend Zach, and then you show up in your IS300, which is also a very nice car, manual, which is very rare, and they're like, yeah, I don't know that guy.
Exactly. We're like, I'll just pull up, no one will want to talk to me, or like I'll try to talk to someone next week. I'll go say what's up to the same people, and they'll come up to me with a high five, like, yo man, what's up, what's going on?
Are you gonna be that guy who has his trophy in front of the car, but instead it's an album cover?
I mean, not at like car meets, but at car shows.
Yeah.
Like I like to toot my horn. I'll put it right there
with the blue ribbon first in show next to it. And the thing is, this car, you know, was like 50 something grand in 1994. I mean, it's not a cheap car.
Yeah, it's about $70,000 to $80,000.
And now it's
money.
back where it was, which
or
is
higher,
or higher. Do you ever have people come up to you and be like, you ruined the car? Do you ever have that experience?
I've had a couple purists like
Yes.
cringe at me, like, oh, why the hell you have a 1J in there? I was like, dude, I bought it like that. Like, I put a turbo kit, new fuel system, and I like did all that, got myself a tune, and like it runs great, and like. And also, I'm not the only one. There's some guy on Instagram. There's some guy in Europe who has one. The owner of Drift Motion has a 1J Supra. And,
yeah, and they have 1J everything on their website.
And like 1.5J stuff. So I'm not the only punk who has one, right? Like, there's other people too.
You know what's funny? I just had this like weird vision of you. You know, like in the 1700s, they'd have like a scroll for a messenger. It's like if somebody comes up to you and sees your 1J and they go, you have a 1J? You're like, yes, I have a 1J, and I bought it like this. Good day, sir, and put it back away.
Have a whole script.
W58, why don't you have a V160?
It's $8,000.
Which is not worth it.
It's like, got a deal for you, $5,000. Third gear, blown.
Yeah,
still,
like, wow, fantastic.
Second and fourth, still good.
When freaking a T56 swap is now a thing, or CD swap. This.
And then obviously if you're in gear, it'll it's set for like launching it, but I don't be doing that.
Nah, that's when things go wrong.
Yeah, I might have to swap out that W58.
Oh yeah, because it'll just snap it right off the bat.
Or I could snap it and then it'll be...
Make an excuse to upgrade. I was talking to a friend the other day, and it's funny how, as car people, we create these money pits for ourselves because say we have to pull a motor. And somebody goes, well, we're already in there. How about, and then valves, springs, retainers, pistons, rods. Next thing you know, you're another 3-4 grand in. You're like, oh my God, that escalated. I just needed to fix one spring. How did this happen?
Still on stock suspension.
Really?
Yeah.
It feels really nice.
But in the end, it's still just like a 90s Toyota, and like, it's a little hacked up, but I mean, that's like one of my favorite parts about it. It's like, it's almost like a box Supra, and like,
which are two words that usually don't add up.
Yeah, like,
right?
I can put some new paint on and make it look nice, but it's still, as it sits right now, I can go get a door ding, and I'm like, oh, like, when I get it painted, like,
yeah,
I'll have to watch it then, but like, as of right now, it's just like,
well,
I can put miles on it.
Yeah, exactly. It almost gives you an excuse to enjoy the car, you know, rather than, oh, paint's really nice right now, I'm gonna have to go get it PPF'd and all this crap. Meanwhile, you're just like, wee, like everywhere you go.
Exactly.
It does not matter.
It handles the power. It's like just about like, just a little over 400, and I don't really bang gears all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't launch the thing like, oh, there goes my diff, like.
Right.
You know, like if I wanted to build a race car, I would have built a race car, but this is not a race car.
No, it's still comfortable. It's, you know what else threw me off too is when you pulled up today and seeing the factory Supra seats worn out. You know, like you never see them worn out because people are like, oh yeah, I put plastic covers on them and I put them in the garage, and it's, you know, it's climate controlled garage, and you're just like, do you ever drive it? And that's what makes me sad about these JDM cars becoming collector cars, is because you're not gonna see them as much. You know, like at one point, I would say about 5 years ago, seeing a Supra in a big city was like, oh, cool, Supra. Now you see him, you're like, oh my God, he brought it out today. You know?
Yeah.
I really, this sounds very contradictory. I wish there was more Supras out there like this, because I think a lot more people would actually have the opportunity to enjoy the Mark IV Supra. Because now, it's literally going to be that unicorn car that people are gonna brag about one day and said, yeah, I rode in a Mark IV Supra. You know, when, you know, 10 years ago, it's like, yeah, my buddy's got one. Or
thankfully that as the years go by for the US, you can start getting these right-hand drive ones.
yeah.
And people always say, oh dude, that's a $60,000 car. You can get one in the 20s still that isn't as nice. And, I mean, you could recreate a car like this. You can put a 1J in your car if you want. It's just like,
And at least you're driving.
Yeah,
You know,
and
at
it's like
least you're driving it around.
you're gonna have a Supra. It's gonna be a right-hand drive. You could be about 30 grand into it and have a single turbo Supra.
Yeah, ta-da!
They're driving this car, it's just like, it's one of my favorite cars, and it's just a shame that people put it so high on a pedestal, because like once you really get in it and you really see it, it's like, oh, it's just a car.
It's a 90s
car.
Toyota.
It is.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people were upset when I said that when I had the red Supra. At the end of the day, it is another Toyota that's 30 years old. But that doesn't make it bad, it's just, it comes with creaks and rattles. It comes with everything that comes with an older car.
It's like having an EG hatch, or like having like a Civic or an Evo or something like that. It's like, these are cars, these aren't trophies.
Yeah.
These aren't like these like weird untouchable things. It's like, it's just a car.
Yeah. On that note, I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Have a wonderful